Hello everyone, it's Thursday. I'm aware that there's some weird shadows going on with how the lighting is set up now, so I apologize for that in advance, but let's get on with this video. I'm standing here in a garden on the campus of a church here in Toledo that is dedicated to the French saint Thérèse of Lisieux, better known by her nickname, the Little Flower. Thérèse lived a rather simple life. She was born as Thérèse Martin on January 2nd, 1873, to her father Louis and her mother Zélie, both of whom became saints in late 2015. Thérèse had a rather large family. There were 9 children, including her, born to her parents, 7 girls and 2 boys. Only 5 of the girls survived into adulthood, all of them becoming professed religious sisters across 2 different orders. One of her sisters professed in the Order of the Visitation of Holy Mary, while the other 4, including Thérèse, professed in the Order of the Discalced Carmelites. I hope I'm saying that correctly. From her childhood, Thérèse had a really trying and challenging life. Her mother Zélie died when she was just 4 years old, and shortly after that, her father moved the family from their original home in Alençon to Lisieux, where Zélie's brother lived with his family. Now, Thérèse was not one of the strongest of the Martin girls. Even from her infancy, it was unclear if she would survive into adulthood because of how small she was. In saying this, it should come as no surprise that when she was in her early 20s, she contracted tuberculosis, something that was rather unknown and untreatable during this time in history, but would eventually take her life by the time that she was 24. Out of all this information that I just spewed at you, what I find to be the most amazing things about this seemingly insignificant French saint can be wrapped up in 2 points. First, she wanted to be a martyr. She wanted to die for God. She wanted that more than anything else. Now, granted, she didn't always want that, but as she grew and matured, she came to love our Lord so very much. Secondly, and what I find to be most compelling, is that she desired to be unknown. She didn't want people to know her. She didn't seek to make a name for herself. Her life could be summed up perfectly in a phrase that she has often been quoted saying, "Do little things with great love." Friends, one of the greatest misconceptions that I feel people outside of the Catholic Church have is that we worship saints. Why do we need them when all we really need is God? We have the saints because, like us, they needed God too when they walked on this earth, and they desired to know God better. They at one time sought God, and through His abundant grace found Him, and are now with Him forever in heaven. They are the human examples that we can relate to and turn to when we need help because they've made it. I'm sure many of you watching this video have photos of your family and friends hung up in picture frames on your walls of your home, or maybe some of you have them saved in a special folder on your phone or somewhere in the cloud. Some of these photos may be of friends that you don't see a whole lot of anymore. Others might be of family members who have died. You have this photo as a memory of that person. You don't idolize them, you don't worship them, you simply remember them. The saints are just like that. Family members who have gone before us, who have made it, and desire this same thing for us. It's often said that everyone in heaven is already a saint, regardless of canonization or not. I'd like to propose this fantastic way to define what a true saint is. A saint is a friend of God, someone who loved God so much that they devoted their lives to following His commands and desiring that His will be done. Thérèse did it. Other saints throughout history have done it before. We can do it too. We can become saints in just the same way, by following in the examples of our friends and family who have gone before us, so that we can become the best friends of God that we can ever be. God bless you all. I'll see you later.